I have 4 children. Jeremy is the oldest, then Ben, then Heather, and Bo. Jeremy had a very outgoing personality. He was just full of life. Ben was different. He was quiet, more inward, gentle, very deep. The older they got, the more they appreciated each other. There wasn't anything they wouldn't have done for the other. When Jeremy made a profession of faith, he was 5 years old, and he stood up in his kindergarten class and said, "My heart used to be black, but now my heart is white because I have asked Jesus to come into my heart and he has forgiven my sins." Ben, who is 3.5 years younger than Jeremy, made a profession of faith when he was 5 years old, and he decided that he wanted to be born again and ask Jesus into his heart. So they both were 5. In their years at war, the boys became more focused on the Lord, knowing they would stand before him one day. They were leading their families, their wives, their children, had them in church. They wanted to be good. They wanted to do what was right. Jeremy was in medical school, and he just had this desire, burning desire to be a SEAL, and made it. Ben, he had been in college, taken courses, but he decided this was what he wanted to do. He went in on election day of 2000. He became a Green Beret, and he studied as a medic and entered into Army 18 Delta. They knew the danger that they were in when they made the decisions in their life that they made. In 2005, when Ben was coming back and I found out Jeremy was going to Iraq, I just freaked out. One night, slid out of the bed and just prayed and just cried out to God. I was so wrought over it, I could hardly articulate. I felt like I was making guttural sounds. And I got back up on the bed, and my eyes just fell on a scripture that said, "I will bring your sons home to you from war, and you shall wear them as a badge." I just had to trust God. That's all I can say. When I heard the news about Jeremy, it did not shake my faith. We can't blame the wrong things on God. The boys trusted their heart and their soul and their life to the Lord. They trusted him. They loved him. He had 10 days before he was to come home, and I was shocked. They died with courage. Both of them, in the last seconds of their lives, were saving other lives. They gave their lives so that others could live. Like Christ gave his life for us. They are a badge, their courage and their honor. We're not bitter. My relationship with the Lord has deepened. I cried out many times alone in my house, and he came. I have felt his great comfort and his peace. And yes, he is there in pain. He is there in suffering. He is there in loneliness. He is there, and he has been there for me. My heart is sad. It is very sad. But we will come through this. My hope is in the Lord. My hope and my knowing is that I will see them again, and I will be with them again. I would say to the parents of those that have died serving their country that God's heart is touched by our brokenness and by our loss and by our suffering. He is there for us, and He is greater than our pain. He is greater than our loss. And when He returns and comes again for His own, He will wipe away every tear.